1 out of every 5. It's stunning. It's the number of Indianapolis Public School students suspended last year.
Yeah, and the rest of Marion County didn't fare much better, with roughly 1 out of every 10 students suspended. IT-Mate's Bennett Haeberle has uncovered something more alarming. Experts say the suspensions might be creating more criminals, while at the same time punishing all students. Bennett?
2 people you're about to meet have been accused of breaking the law, but they haven't graduated high school, and one isn't even old enough to drive. No one is making excuses for their behavior, but some are raising concerns that kicking them out of class might come with a higher price for everyone. If the few available parking spots tell you anything,
this is always busy. It's always hard to find a spot.
it should be that the appearance of a busy juvenile court system matches the reality.
I ain't gonna lie to you. It's been hard for me. Yes.
Tammy Powell's reality is that she's raising her 14-year-old grandson, Robert, who just spent 3 weeks behind bars, suspected in an armed robbery.
Since the witnesses didn't show up, so that's why they dismissed the case.
Tammy says Robert's misbehavior could be the result of feelings from his past. In 2003, Wish TV covered the story of how Robert's father was convicted of fatally shooting his mother.
A lot of stuff been going on. I just get angry for it. I don't know why.
Robert and other teens we met, like Davon Davis, say it's their first experience with the juvenile justice system. Though both teens admit they've been in trouble at school.
I really couldn't recall how many times I've been suspended, but it was probably like over 3 times.
What were some of the types of things that you got suspended for?
Skipping classes, or fighting, or stuff like that.
In 2013, Indianapolis Public Schools suspended more than 5,400 students. Last year, that number grew to more than 6,000. That's 1 out of every 5 students enrolled. Is that figure acceptable?
Absolutely not. And we've worked very hard this year. We've actually decreased our disciplinary referrals over 40% this year.
Director of Student Services Deborah Lesser says it's not because children are behaving better, but because the district is reevaluating how it punishes them. District records show more than 1/3 of last year's suspensions came from fighting or battery. The next highest reason? Defiance. And with Marion County Schools referring 1,500 cases each year to the juvenile courts, Judge Marilyn Moores believes it's a sign schools are bypassing the principal's office in favor of sending troublemakers straight to court.
The resources need to be spent on the kids who pose a threat to public safety, not on kids who are driving adults crazy.
It sounds like your fear is that their exposure to this place creates more criminals?
It does. It's not a fear, it's fact.
Moores has since drafted a letter to local superintendents telling them she'll no longer accept arrests for nonviolent offenses.
They're getting law enforcement involved in violations that are occurring inside the school. So there is a direct school-to-prison pipeline, yes.
IU sociology professor Berea Perry just published years of research that suggests when suspensions are up, test scores are down among all students, even those not being punished.
What our research suggests is that suspension is not good for anyone, right? So this idea that, we should use suspension to create this better learning environment, we're not seeing that at all in our data.
Kids are different.
Lesser admits suspensions aren't always preventing student misbehavior, nor are they always fair.
Do I think there are times when kids get suspended that they shouldn't? Yeah, I think that happens sometimes. People make the best decisions they can with the information that they have and the training that they have.
Study Committee on Education.
Last fall, educators warned lawmakers about the state's racial disparity. Indiana and Missouri suspend more black male students than any other state, according to national data. An IT-Mate's review of records show districts with higher black populations tend to have higher suspension rates. Lesser says the district is aware of this and is writing a code of conduct in hopes of making punishments more consistent.
I think that educators suspend when they feel like they have no other options.
Parents we spoke to feel like students endure the punishment, but don't always learn the lesson.
Things are not right. Things are just not right with these kids, and we need to have more focus on them as they coming up today.
I feel like I'm gonna do better in school, and I'm gonna stay in the positive and stay from the negative people and everything.
And Deborah Lesser says the new code of conduct will help parents, students, and teachers understand ways to address issues that often lead to suspensions. When asked why IPS doesn't already have a code of conduct, she couldn't answer. And to find the most recent discipline records for your child's school, we've built a database at wishtv.com.
Okay, and so as they're developing this code of conduct, is it going to be a you do this, you get this punishment? Like if you use profanity, you get 3 days suspension?
No, it won't be that concrete. It's actually what they're trying to look at is trying to determine on an each case basis what is driving that behavior rather than when you do something, what should be the punishment. So it's more restorative justice, the idea that maybe we can talk out, maybe there's something going on at home that might be driving a lot of these kids to misbehave.
As we know that is the case.
And so often it is, yes.
All right, thank you, Bennett.
Sure.